Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Your Manchester. I'm your host, Brandon McCaffrey, and have I got a show for you. We've got many a guest on, as we do every week. Have you all had a good week? Have you had a good time? Yeah. I think Manchester's had a pretty great time at the minute. We've all cooled down, we've relaxed, but apparently that heat wave is on its way back. But I'm sure Paul will be around to tell us exactly when. But first up, I think it's time we hear all about one number in particular, and that's 6. Well, they are a one of a kind, no category, half a dozen. Yes, that's right, it's 6.
Listen up, let me tell you a story. A story that you think you've heard before. We know you know our names and our fame and our faces.
Know all about the glories and the disgraces.
Welcome to the show, to the history mix. Switching up the flow as we add the prefix. Everybody knows that we used to be 6 but now we're X, Y, we're 6. Whoa, we're 6. Whoa, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more minute. We're 6.
Please welcome to the show, the one you've been waiting for, the temptress, Anne Boleyn, or she's known to Jenny Caldwell. Hello.
Hello, hiya.
I thought I might as well give you your entrance that you'll get on stage tonight, so why not?
And it's in my rider. I won't go anywhere without it, actually.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show, Jenny. Now, obviously, you're here to talk to us about 6, a show you've been with for quite a few years.
I have. It's been about 2.5 now, I think. Yeah, in total.
Crikey. And Anne Boleyn is not the only queen you've played, if I'm right.
You are right, yes. I've done all 6.
All 6?
All 6, yeah.
I have to ask about this. How can you have learned 6 lines, 6 dance routines, 6 songs? Do you ever just walk on stage and go like, there's no, that's not my song. It's not my song tonight.
Sometimes. I think I did that a few times. You know, when you start to speak and you go, hey, nope, not me. Ooh, I did that quite a lot, I think.
I would not be surprised at all. Now, 6 it's taken the world by storm. It's a massive musical. It's huge, not only for an all-female cast and all-female orchestra as well at the back, but also for the fact that just the history that it's taught so many people. Do you guys have to go through that history lesson as well?
Absolutely, yeah. Before we start, we're given like a reading list of things that they want us to read, documentaries that they want us to watch. So when I first started back in 2019, it was a case of like, okay, because it was like, read the chapter that your queen is. And I was like, cool, I cover all of them. So I read the whole book cover to cover. And then I thought, I'm going to read some more books on it. So I got quite well versed in Tudor history, I think.
I'd say you guys are very well known of it all now then. Anyone asks you questions, you're like, yep, I know that one.
I know. I hope so. Someone's going to try and outsmart me one day, I think. So yeah, not today. Not today.
Now, you're playing Anne Boleyn, who I have to say is one of my favourite queens. It's not, and you're going to hate me, it's not my favourite song, but Catherine Howard steals that one. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll allow it.
That's fair.
I've done that one too, so it's fine.
Now, you're on at the Lowry. For people who don't know about 6, if you've not listened to the past 3 minutes, what is a broad prospect? Because this isn't just a play of what's going on. This musical is a different style. What exactly is it for people that don't know?
It's kind of like an 80-minute, fast-paced, like somewhat fusion of a pop concert and a musical. So you get a history lesson in there, you learn all about these fabulous women, but you get to learn about these fabulous women through these absolutely banging tunes. And it's all about empowering each other, lifting each other up, and just delivering you comedy, fun, and history too.
Amazing that a musical like that can be so educational for everyone.
I know.
Like I said, you've played them all. So who was the one you're most scared to do?
Catherine of Aragon, I think. She's the first
Really?
one out. Yeah, she's the first one out of the gate. And, you know, her song is, it's so cool. It's so catchy. It's so well known. But then it's also like you do the whole first section, you do ex-wives, and then you've got this big opening chat, and then it's like, boom, in you go, Catherine of
Here we
Aragon, straight
go.
away. You don't have time to kind of go, okay, well, then I stand here at this point, and these are my lines. You have no time. It's just straight in. And I remember doing a rehearsal process the second time when we restarted after COVID, so about May, June last year. And I was still a swing and alternate at the time. And the creative team were like, okay, we know that you're a bit scared about doing Aragon, but you're going to do Aragon for this whole rehearsal process. And then they said to me, I think that you're worried about it because it's the one that's closest to who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And that freaked me out. I was like,
You've been
oh
to a
my
nunnery.
God.
That's incredible.
Almost. Yeah.
Almost.
You never know.
Sorry, you're on from the
2nd
2nd of August to the 14th
Yes.
of August.
That's it.
And I'm assuming you've got a show tonight.
We do, yes. We're currently in Nottingham. So we're in Nottingham until this Sunday, which is, I think, the 31st of July. And then we travel up to Manchester and we do 2 weeks in Salford, which is home for me as well. So I get to be around I get to stay with my mum.
Home. I know.
Yes.
Also one of your swings is also from here. Manchester. We're taking one more and we've got half of the 6. We're doing well.
We've got another one as well. Our super swing Harriet is from Manchester. So
look, we are the best ones. What can we say? Thank you very much for joining us on Your Manchester, Jenny. I hope your show goes fantastic and we can't wait to see it next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next up on the show is someone who's got themselves a wee MBA. I think they should give me an MBA. Do you not think so? I think they should. I'm just saying. But they're here to talk to us all about something that we're all very aware of, happens at the end of every single week. Well, it's the weekend. And that's why this festival is called We Invented the Weekend. Please welcome Wayne Hemingway, MBA. Hello, Wayne.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. How's yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah.
So you're here to talk about We Invented the Weekend. It's a festival of epic proportions by the sounds of it. What can people expect?
Well, I think it's good to look at the background of this really, and how it came about. I mean, the most important thing I think when you're thinking of a festival is to root it in place, and this is totally rooted in Salford and Greater Manchester, because we were working out. We were sat with a group of clever minds and creative minds, and working out what could we do post COVID, and as we come out of COVID and post lockdowns, to create a big free festival for the North that was right for the times, that was right for these times of getting work-life balance right for the times of getting of responding to post-lockdown, right for the times of during a time of cost of living crisis, something that was free and absolutely inclusive for everybody. And we'd worked out that Media City and Salford Quays was a fantastic place to do that, with all the open space that it's got, and the open water, and just all the plazas and the piazzas and everything that it's got there, and the great public transport and all of that. But we wanted it to be something that people could think this can only take place in that location. So we're all sat together, and somebody had been watching that BBC programme, Who Do You Think You Are? They'd seen Sir Ian McKellen talk about his great grandfather, somebody called Robert Lowes, who in 1843 was based in Salford and in Salford campaigning for workers' rights to have the whole of Saturday off. Yes. And he succeeded, and it was the first time ever that factory workers, and mainly factory workers, ever had a whole day off. So we thought about this and thought, Blooming heck, that means that the weekend was invented in 1843 in this location. Yeah. And it was like, oh my God. And the word came, the term came out straight away. We invented the weekend, and it felt so right for Salford and Greater Manchester, that kind of confidence and arrogance to say that we invented the weekend, but it being rooted in absolute truth. And so we went into all the research, like, because this is like thinking, if actually a place owns the weekend and can say that they invented it, the power of that, because obviously the weekend for many of us is we look forward to it come Friday. Even though I've been a business owner since I've been a teenager, I still can't wait for the weekend to come, as songs say. It's just a great time to do stuff that you don't get a chance to do when you're working. We must remember that a lot of people work weekends as well. So, yes. So it gave us. So we came up. We did the research. We found that the only other place in the world that was claiming the weekend was Sir Henry Ford and a Ford factory. But that was 4 years later. So that we discounted that. And that's it. So this is a festival that's going to celebrate everything that people do at weekend. Whether it's kicking a football, to doing knitting, to dancing, to going out, to walking the dog, to sitting at home watching telly, everything that we do, whether it's, cooking, going out for dinner, everything that people do, no matter how small or large, you'll be able to experience at the Salford Quays and Media City on the 10th and the 11th of September. And the vast majority of it, we're talking, 90 odd % of it, won't cost you a penny. You can bring your own food if you like, but you'll be able to sample football schools with Man United, cricket with Lancashire County Cricket Club. You'll be able to do some wild water swimming. You'll be able to enter a dog show. You'll be able to, certain things that you can take part in and pay for, like you'll be able to take part in a Sunday roast that's been cooked, by some amazing chefs. You'll be able to listen to DJs for free. You'll be able to. We've got sounds from the other city. Doing a takeover of all the stages on the Sunday. My favourite thing possibly is the BBC Philharmonic.
Very nice.
Have done a call out for it. We're gonna have a people's orchestra, so that you can play whatever. You can bring whatever you want. You can bring spoons. You can bring a triangle. You can bring just your voice. And in the first 4 days, we're catering for up to 2,000 people can join this orchestra on both days. We're doing it. And you rehearse with the orchestra out on a stage outside the BBC, and then you perform in front of quite a lot of people. And we had it in the first 4 days. 800 people applied to be part of this. So you can go on. You just go onto the We Invented the Weekend website and find out more about that. So I could go on. I've been going on.
No. I feel you've definitely bombarded us with much information that will definitely get people interested. So thank you for that. You've done my job for me. It's fantastic. That's brilliant. Now it's on the 10th and 11th September. It sounds something that's definitely celebrating what people need at the minute. After everything we've had the past few years, it sounds like something that's huge, and it's celebrating the people and the weekend, that chance to have a bit of freedom. Even if you work at the weekend, it still gives you that little bit of freedom. So thank you very much, Wayne, for joining us, and it sounds fantastic. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
It's only 6 weeks off now.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. So We Invented the Weekend. Go on the website, We Invented the Weekend, you'll find it.
Not a problem at all. Thank you very much, Wayne. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much to Wayne. That sounds incredible. We've always got something going on. In fact, I think we should ask our Michael, what's on?
Hello, Michael here with a look at everything that's happening in and around Greater Manchester in the next week. First is your chance to delve into the history of video games with the Science and Industry Museum. Power Up, the ultimate hands-on interactive gaming experience, returns to the Science and Industry Museum this week. Play the very best video games from the past 5 decades and try out over 100 different consoles. There's something for everyone, from Pong to Pac-Man, Sonic to Street Fighter, and Mario to Minecraft, plus a selection of games created in Manchester. Or perhaps open-air theatre is more your thing. Well, why not experience it at one of Salford's most iconic listed buildings? From tomorrow, Salford's Grade 1 listed Manor House Ordsall Hall will be hosting a fantastic 3-month programme of outdoor theatre. Bring a chair, bring some snacks, and experience some of the greatest theatre of 2022. Handlebars open the programme of events with The Twelfth Night, a bicycle-powered production of Shakespeare's classic romantic comedy. Tickets start from £16. And don't forget, if you think there's something that we should be covering, why not give us a tweet? We're at YourMCR, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great week.
There's a lot going on, and I'm definitely down for that there video game at the Science and Industry Museum. That sounds fantastic. Now, I like to get out and about, but so does our Mark. And at the moment, he's been up apparently with some men in a shed. And they're
now I get sent all over the place to meet interesting people and find out about interesting and curious projects. I've no idea what we're doing here. I was just told to come to Duckinfield to meet Mike in a shed. What on earth is going on?
Good morning, my name is Mike and I work at the shed in Duckinfield. The shed is part of the network of many sheds that are not necessarily a formal network but collaborate with each other. The idea is that we operate really on two levels. At an individual level where we're looking to support men to age well, to keep them physically active, keep them socially engaged, and to keep them with a positive outlook, hopefully. But we also operate at a slightly different level as well, in that if you look at the Northwest, and Tameside in particular, the average healthy age range is 57. Well, that means that round about 57, statistically speaking, people start to experience health issues that might be life-limiting. Oh, so some will get it early, some will get it later. Now, you compare that to the wealthier southeast, that happens about 9.5 years later, almost a full decade. So what we've got to try and do is to make sure that we're helping people to keep healthy longer for all sorts of reasons, not just economic, but for their own satisfaction, their own longevity. And we do that in a number of ways. You can see around me a workshop where people are engaged actively in making things. And of course, it's not the making things that happens, it's the fact that they're working in small groups and they interact. Now, men are not very good communicators face to face, but they can communicate much better shoulder to shoulder. And so that's what happens, is that when they're actually working on projects, they start to engage with each other. And that's when we start to get them being socially engaged, physically active. Like I say, hopefully with a positive outlook. But not everybody wants to do woodwork. You can't just do woodwork all the day. So what we do is we have a number of activities that we offer to the men. For example, we do sporting memories. We used to have an ex-Premiership referee coming in who would run our sporting memories. Inevitably, it was football memories, but we did do a bit of boxing, talked about boxing and cricket and other sports, but generally it was football. Sorry.
It's all right. You recently found out that you had been awarded the Queen's Voluntary Service Award. What did that mean?
Recently we received confirmation that Her Majesty is going to be signing the certificate in terms of us being recognised for the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service. Now, what that means, of course, is that it's more for the volunteers. It's the volunteers who've earned this. All right, the staff and the trustees have been supportive in that role, but the quality of what we deliver is really determined by the quality of our volunteers. So we're hoping that it's going to help us to recruit a few more volunteers.
What sort of activities do the men get involved in?
Not everyone wants to do woodwork, so we have to have other options for them. For example, we do sporting memories on a Wednesday afternoon. We do musical memories on a Thursday morning. We also go bowling on a Thursday morning in Denton, Crown Green bowling. The idea is to keep them active, keep them engaged, and that's when they're doing these things. I could say it's almost irrelevant what we do. It's the fact that they're engaged with each other that's important. The other sort of things we do, we have a here and there group where once a month we go out. So we've been to the monastery in Gorton, we've been on a couple of narrowboat trips. We've been to the National Football Museum in Manchester. So there's a range of things we can get people to do. Before the pandemic, we used to have a monthly supper club, what that we call the Third Thursday Supper Club, where obviously every third Thursday we'd have a simple meal, one pot plus a dessert meal. We'd have guest speakers, music, quizzes, so that again, once a month we'd get them out to be socially active. We did have a Men in Kitchens program running before the pandemic, and there are plans to get that running again in September this year, so that we're helping men to. It's important to recognise that about a third of our men live in a household of one, so they're in danger of being really isolated, and quite a number of them, about 6 people we've got currently, are carers for a loved one, and for a significant amount of their time. So they're in danger of being socially isolated. And it's about trying to reach out and make sure that what we're doing is engaging them and giving them some skills. We talk about economic cooking, we talk about nutrition, we give them some knife skills and a repertoire of recipes so that they can actually cook at the end of it. Because we had a few that admitted that to poisoning themselves food-wise, they suffered from food poisoning. So one of the things we want to do is to make sure that people eat well, because part of aging well, of course, is having the right nutrition. The shed is open 5 days a week, 9 till 3, and Saturday morning 10 till 1. We have about 60 men on the register currently. But we're always looking to recruit more because we want to engage more men. So what we do, we actually have some outreach activities in Denton and in Stalybridge where we run social activities for men rather than being woodwork, where we have these sporting memories, musical memories, this week in history, the news hour. So we have a number of activities that we're engaging men with outside. But the thing to recognise, of course, is that we are not the only shed. There are quite a number nationally. So that if you don't live in Tameside, you need to look around, because there is a map on the National Association of Sheds that will give you the location of all the sheds nationally.
And how do you support other good causes in the area?
One of the things that we're keen to do is to support other charities locally or other good causes. For example, we made 5 benches for the local authority and produced a map so that there was a walk that people could follow and get some exercise. That was particularly during the pandemic. We also work closely with other organisations such as residential homes to help them by making benches for them, putting up window boxes, signage, and generally just trying to support them to make sure that we're contributing.
An incredible, worthwhile project here at the Shed and sheds all over the country for men who want to get out and meet other people in the same situation, maybe suffering from loneliness. So please have a look and get in touch.
Hi, I'm Hayley and welcome to this week's On The Box. How is everyone doing? I've been watching a fair bit of telly over the last couple of days because it's been a bit rainy, hasn't it? Gosh, how did the weather change in a week? I mean, it was boiling this time last week. But remember Sanditon, a new series, a second series of that. It's taken 3 years, but the second series is now available on ITV Hub. Do watch that. It's absolutely brilliant. Starts off slow, but by the 3rd episode, you'll be in on it. 1974 drama Girl is on iPlayer, and that is starring a young Alison Steadman. This is on my list. It's about Jackie, who's about to leave the army when she encounters her old girlfriend. Cheat on ITV is also on my list. And also the new She-Hulk will premiere on in August on Disney. I can't wait. I absolutely loved Hulk back in the day. And also there's Tuckers on BBC. It's about a family of lovable rogues in Wales. Do give that a watch as well. That's it from me. I shall catch you next time. And remember, stronger together. Bye.
Oh, I could do with a pizza now. You know, when you're sort of hitting the end of the day, end of the show, we're like, oh, wouldn't mind a wee pizza. I might pop down to Nels later, actually. That's not a bad idea, is it? But while I'm outside, it might rain, it might shine, who knows? But I tell you who does. Our Paul Rudd.
This is Colonel Robert, who commanded parliamentary forces during the English Civil War. Other famous locals were Kathy Staff, who played Nora Batty, and Ronnie Hazelhurst, who wrote the tune to Are You Being Served? I'm free. Here's this week's weather. Thursday is looking sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 21 degrees Celsius. Friday is looking sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 23 degrees Celsius. And as we very much look forward to the weekend's weather right now, Saturday is looking sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 22 degrees Celsius. And Sunday is looking cloudy with the temperatures of 22 degrees Celsius. Now back to the studio for this week's brilliant episode of Your Manchester Going Down.
And with that, we're nearly at the end of our show. But it's not just the end of our show. It's also, this Friday is the last episode. That's right, the last episode, unless someone decides to pick it up, of Neighbours. That's right, you will have a fantastic special going out. I'm sure we'll have a few bits and pieces. If you didn't see our Neighbours special a few months ago, hop back on, have a look. It was fantastic. We got to speak to some of the cast and they were incredible to talk to. And this time, they've even got Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie back herself for the finale. I know, amazing. But like I say, it's the end of our show. So from me to you, I'll see you next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. You know you're going to be here. Only on Your Manchester.